Rera channel is live from the capsule. Um, Channels from the capsule. Going on here with another live. Trying to show up as much as I can. Just pour my thoughts out on camera. I'm getting a lot of good feedback from very close people to me because that's kind of what matters. It's kind of what matters to me, and a lot of the stuff and a lot of the stories that I'm telling, and just trying to cross check and see if I'm coming off genuine. And it seems as if I am. I feel like it's helping me a lot. Today was one of those times where when I was doing my daily workout, I found my way. I found like a solution or a formula to gather my thoughts, and kind of where I found clarity and where I found just ideas pouring into my head. Where did they come from? Where did I find inspiration from? I couldn't tell you, but it was just like the perfect storm. I was getting after it. It was early. I was getting the blood pumping, and I was just really happy just because of the way everything was like, just unwinding. I didn't ask for it. I don't know where it comes from or anything like that, but this video, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I've kind of hit on a few of the other videos, and it seems like it's resonating a lot, not only with myself but with my audience. And it's a lot about just being in the present, and trying to make the most of everything that you have in front of you. Right now for me, I'm focusing a lot on what I can actually change myself, and trying to not focus as much on things that I can't and I have no control over, because I feel like that's just a waste of time. Time is a very sacred thing for me now. So that's basically what I'm really focusing on everything that I have full control over. And I was speaking to my nephew about AI and stuff like that, and he has a different perspective on it, just like I had a different perspective on it a while back. But I think now more than ever, it's like just evident that no one's coming to save you. Nobody's looking out for your best interest. It's almost like when you get down to the primitive nature of it, it's almost like you have to learn to kill your own prey, because those that were subsidizing you and or acting as if they were helping you was all in an act to help themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, it's just becoming more evident. You know what I mean? That, like, sometimes you almost feel like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just feel like it's more evident now more than ever that you have to be fully accountable for the things that you're doing and the direction that your life is taking. Right now, with all the AI stuff, I think it's going to go through a really rough stage, and there's going to be a lot of unrest because people don't know where it's all going, but it's going to cause a lot of issues, as well as it's going to solve a lot of problems. But you know that pressure is kind of what you want. That pressure that put yourself up against the wall. You're the egg, and all that stuff that is developing around you is the rock. Whether you fall on the rock or the rock falls on you, you break either way. So tacos for dinner, washed down with fresh breast milk. R.L. Willman, I don't know what that was, but that was funny. So you have to kind of think in those terms, and just that pressure is what's going to polish you. You know what I mean? It's not what's going to destroy you. It's going to push you in the directions and kind of give you that shine, and make you see things crystal clear for what they are. I think you should welcome the pressure right now. I think you should fight against it and with it. I think you shouldn't be scared of everything that's happening and how the world is changing ever so much. And even though I'm immersed heavily in this digital realm of all the AI stuff, all the digital marketing and design and architecture and automation for returning emails, returning DMs, being present on social media, all that stuff that I'm seeing like kind of almost taking place in this digital realm. Um, I was just downtown Sarasota with my family because we were out for the day, and there's still a lot of the old world left. There's still a lot of folks out walking around, having a good time, socializing. So I think that's another lesson to be learned for myself in this instance. That as much as I think things are changing and things are evolving in such a fast way, there's still a lot of remnants of the old world still there, and it's really about what you pay attention to. Um, what is it that you're giving top priority to, and what is it that what pair of goggles do you have on? What are you focusing on? It's a lot. Has a lot to do with the mindset, and it has a lot to do with you asking yourself the right questions. You know what I mean? Like, are you a righty? Are you a visual learner? Do you need to read things? Those are the questions that you ask yourself so you can put yourself in a position to win. You know, the things around you that are make you have those feelings that are very unrecognizable, and you just can't explain why things make you so happy or why you get such a charge off of uh, conquering certain tasks. Those are the things that you should double down on, and that's where I beg everybody to look deep into themselves, interconnect with your inner child. Whether it is that you have to go to therapy and or speak to your parents and or go down memory lane and or pick up a new habit, whatever it might be, I urge everyone to go on that journey to find what it is that gives you that feeling so you can chase it and have some type of purpose, so every day doesn't feel like it's groundhog day. Every day doesn't feel like you're building something for someone else. Every day doesn't feel like there's emptiness at the end of the day, even though you are producing money, you are helping others. I'm sure all industries and everybody that has a job to some degree, there's some service work, um, or someone that's benefiting from it. So you can always see the positive side to that. But you just have to, or you don't have to do anything. But in my journey, what I'm finding is that I'm seeing it now more than ever. That it's like, and maybe because it's that stage in my life that I'm at, particularly. You know what I mean? I'm kind of hitting that midlife point, and I got a couple of young kids, and the life's real. Life's real for me. I'm not in a position to take too many risks. I'm not in a position to, and I wouldn't even call it fun right now, because if I did a lot of the things that I did when I was in my early 20s, maybe early 30s, I don't think that I would find that fun anymore. Um, I haven't done it in a while, but every time that I do go to the extreme of the things that I used to do at that point in my life, I find that it wasn't. I never feel like, oh man, that was a great time. I wish I could do that again. Not that I don't say I didn't have a great time, but I more often than not, the price that I paid, whether it be the hangover, whether I'm tired, whether maybe I said something that I shouldn't have, um, it always kind of puts me in a position where I regret doing that. And back then I didn't care. Back then I didn't care who I pissed off, or what I didn't do the next day, or if I felt like shit. That just didn't hold any merit in my mind, at the time. But like, when I go back to the original statement that I planted in the video about like killing your own prey, I feel like now is the time to learn to do that. Now is the time to start studying the landscape, in whatever career choice that you have picked, and see how things are changing. See how things changed within the last 5 years to now, because we did have a pretty big world happening in 2020. If everybody is on the same boat with me, I don't know words or I can or cannot say on the platform that are going to get me like shadow banned. So I'm going to stay away from that. But everybody kind of knows underlyingly what I'm talking about, the vid, right? That kind of changed the world, and it changed the why are you doing this? Quit arguing. It was like, okay, Christoph arguing. You know what my parents are. You like too much to listen to me. If y'all argue, I don't care. What? I don't know what that means. I appreciate you in the chat, but I'm not 100% sure what that statement meant. But now more than ever, I think you should keep your head on a swivel and start doing a little bit of studying and seeing like what your job was like 5 years ago, what your job is like now. Maybe start to find the demographics of like how many people are going into your field. What are the tools that are being introduced to your field that are going to make things easier, that are going to make things harder, that are going to make things obsolete, that are going to let you excel and maybe cut a little bit of the fat. Do I like Ford or Chevys? If you put me to choose between the two, I've never had a Chevy. I had a Ford before, so I'll go ahead and say Ford. But right now, I'm I'm Tesla all the way up, man. I've had a Tesla for a few years, and it's been the best car I've ever had. No problems, no maintenance. I've changed the tires a couple times, maybe, and that's about it. You know, I have no complaints at all. Ain't no complaints. Racks in the bank. But yeah. So I'm at least I'm feeling like that. I'm feeling like right now I came into tattooing a little bit over 10 years ago. I've seen it drastically change just in the way that the clients interact with the tattooers, how the tattooers interact with the clients, how the tattooers interact between each other, how it used to be like who can be the most underground, who can be the most black market product deliverer to now like you're the best tattooer where you're the most mainstream, you're the guy that knows how to market the best, you're the guy that does what the client wants, whether it's I guess morally sound and or not, and that's just me going out on a limb because everybody that's out there knows that not everything that's being done on skin right now is the best for the longevity of it. The artistry is freaking amazing, but a lot of the stuff is not built to last. And I'm sure if we speak to seasoned tattooers that have been in the industry for many years, we can all agree on that. And that's okay because every sector goes through their ebbs and flows and finds their personality and what works and what doesn't work. And it happens in the car industry, and it happens in fashion, and it happens in food. Restaurants are constantly changing up what they have on the menu just to kind of see what sticks and what new things they can introduce to make their restaurant not only more desirable, but maybe even to cut costs a little bit, maybe even to streamline things a little bit more. So I urge everyone again to try new things, find what it is exactly that's gonna put that battery in your back and give you that self-feed loop where you're going to be able to find motivation in the results of the things that you're doing already. So then it just kind of like closes that loop for you. Give me one moment. My cat is being annoying. Sorry about that. I have like the sliding door here on the office. So sometimes when the cat, we kind of like run it back a little bit, and then the cat just starts to like play with it, and it'll just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? But and welcome that the uncomfortability and the journey to find these new things and or study the industry that you're already in. That pressure is what's going to make you, that pressure is what's going to give you that edge. I've heard this numerous times already, and I'm starting to get on that edge where like people are like, oh, we're all going to lose our jobs to AI, we're all going to lose our jobs to AI. I don't think it's coming that quickly, you know what I mean? I think that's a little bit more doomsday-y. I'm not saying that there aren't people that are going to, but I think more people are going to lose their jobs to people that use AI, people that know how to use the tools. And that has a lot to do with what I'm talking about right now. That it just it's really, really, really tough to just sit back and not do anything. And at least I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking that there's just so much going on that I find that there's just too much stuff going. Give me one moment. Having a lot of. Sorry about that. Yeah, my son, he gets a little agitated, so he'll just start yelling and running across the house and running across the room, and I just got to open the door and kind of look at him, and he'll chill out. But yeah, man. Besides that, I just urge again everyone to um, welcome all the new things that are coming into your life. Start to really look at all the positive things and maybe all the opportunities that may be around you, as much as it may seem detrimental. And I'm not saying everybody that it seems detrimental to everybody, because maybe that's just me. Maybe those are the glasses that I have on. Maybe that's what I'm focusing on. But those were the things that came to me. And going again down the rabbit hole of me speaking on finding your way, or like finding what inspires you, or finding how you get into that mind state where like you feel so charged, energized, and positive that you're like, man, I wish I can replicate this feeling over and over and over again. For me, this morning at least, and I'm gonna keep doing it, because I felt really good receiving what it was that I got from that. I was First off, I was working out. I usually work out on an empty stomach. This time I ate a banana before I went to the gym, because the last couple times that I've worked out on an empty stomach, I find that like at the end, I'm like so drained that I'm like, man, I almost freaking need a nap. And that's not where I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get to the point where like me working out is kind of like putting a battery in my back. It's almost like giving me that energy drink, that natural energy drink. So I changed it up a little bit by eating a banana before I went to the gym. And then while I was at the gym, I changed up what I listened to. Uh, for the most part, I listen to news, AI stuff. Sometimes I listen to artist interviews. But this time, and not music very often. I use music more for when I'm driving to work, or more for when maybe I'm taking a shower or stuff like that. But lately, well, not lately, today, I put in YFN Lucci Essentials, and really got after it and really got my blood pumping. And even in the sauna, I had YFN in the headphones, and it helped the time go through. It helped my mind open and just like let all these thoughts pour in. And that's what gave me the idea for today's live. And a lot of the channel is built off of how everything kind of correlates, like the art correlates, the day in the life correlates, the building blocks correlate, the you keeping your head on a swivel correlates, the organic way of you kind of existing and seeing everything around you, and how like it's all the same. And I'm finding that in my life. Now that I'm thinking a lot about, like, the last couple days, like, damn, I gotta like perfect this plan on how I'm going to do this, and how I'm going to elevate my art, or how I'm going to, even in this case right now, I'm on the race to get 500 subs. I do the lives, and then I do those 500 or bust videos, where basically what a lot of the core audience is, I guess, basically looking for, is a lot of the drawing stuff, because that's where I built the channel around, and that's kind of where I get most of my views, when I do those little quick drawing videos. Pardon me. But since I've been talking about the hunting, since I've been talking about, going out and getting your own prey, and being that lion in the jungle, I've been getting a lot of pieces that I tattoo that are like kind of around that same subject matter. The other day I did a wolf. Tomorrow I'm doing a boat with a guy casting a fishing rod. It's a like it's a memorial to his kid, but his kid's not dead. They just kind of got the same tattoo, but yet it still goes full circle to, like, be the hunter, be the one that's standing on the post with his head on the swivel, paying attention to everything that's going on around you, so you can make the best decisions and put yourself in the best position to win. Whether there's pressure coming or whether it's sunny skies, you'll be ready for whatever that is. But even though there's sunny skies, or you project there to be sunny skies, or that's what your perception of the day is, I still require myself to try to learn something new, to try to read a few pages out of the book that I haven't read. And that's kind of where I'm at. I do try to do a little bit of reading every day, even though that's not what I'm using on my day to day. But it breaks me out of my form of thinking, what I would naturally do. It makes me think about the way that they're delivering the message, and all of those things are what I believe are gonna do the polishing for me. That's what's going to give me my edge. That's what's gonna maybe one day me think back on that, and it gives me an idea. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, hence why I'm on this journey. The channel is called From the Capsule. My name is Manny Cabrera. I'm here trying to build the life that I'm trying to live, learn new things, project that onto anyone who wants to listen, maybe get a little bit of feedback, create a tribe and a community where people want to speak about progression, the things that are changing, what we can do to adapt, be humans. That's what humans do. That's what gives human the crown, when we, as far as we know, when it comes to this solar system, when it comes to this galaxy, when it comes to this earth, is that we're adaptable. You can't grab a polar bear and put it in the desert and think that it's going to survive. You can't grab an amphibian and put it in the snow and think that it's going to survive. You can't put a fish outside of its environment and think that it's going to survive. But humans, you can do that, and you can believe that they're going to survive. Just because we've done it time and time, over and over again. So the best teacher for me is just like looking around me, looking at the species that I am, how we've been so resilient over time, what has made things grow, prosper, and be successful in the past. And that's what I'm kind of redoing, re-emulating, and regurgitating over and over and over again. Only now it's a digital era. Before it was an industrial era. Before that it was a prehistoric era. There's so many rabbit holes you can go down. There's so many answers that you can give. There's so many perspectives that you can have. But at the end of the day, it's all about survival. It's all about you staying on the right side of the fence. It's all about you finding what it is that works for you and implementing that, and maybe taking a couple of people along the way. There's nothing better than you having a solution, you having solved the problem, and then kind of giving that key to someone else and seeing how their eyes light up when they figure that out. And then when they put their twist on it and they change the whole dynamic of it, and now there's something else that's new, that's been introduced, that's been twisted by humans only to be given as a tool to adapt and survive. So it's all about being human, all in all. That's the full circle again. It's always going to come full circle. I'm never going to go off the beaten path. I'm convinced that I'm never going to go off the deep and beaten path and think that just because the world around us is changing, that we're going to lose the edge of being the adaptable creature that we are. that's it for me, you know. So in today's video, I would say that the main topic is it's becoming more evident now than ever that we are in living in the times where you have to keep your head on a swivel. Nothing is forever. Careers especially, you have to do a little bit of due diligence and find out how things have changed within your sector in the last 5 years and what's projected to happen in the next 5 years, and how many of those people were actually correct, and make your assessment on that. The other message that I have in this video is to welcome the pressure. The pressure is what's going to build you. The pressure is what's going to polish you. The pressure is what's going to make you the diamond that you want to be and give you the shine and the edge that you deserve and should have. And to learn yourself and put yourself in a position to win. Ask yourself all the right questions. How do I learn? When do I feel best? How many hours of sleep do I need? Do I feel better when I eat earlier in the day or later in the day? Do I feel better when I plan my day out a day in advance, or do I do a better job when I do it off the cuff? These are all the questions that you have to ask yourself to start narrowing down what path it is that you're supposed to be on, so you can get to the end of this path and gather the tools that you need to build the fortress that you want to live in. Because there has to be a point in time where the things that you have put into place are going to almost act as a protection as well. And that's where, when they put you on a lineup and they ramble off what exactly you can do on top of the tools that you can use, then that makes it just puts you in a different bracket, and keeps you a little safe. So almost like a bunker in a sense, you know. And this here, in me talking on camera, is more so a live journal that I'm going on. It's from the capsule. The capsule's here now. The capsule was supposed to be the Tesla, but the Tesla unlocked a different avenue in a different way of the way I wanted to deliver the message. I'm still thinking that I might bring it back to the Tesla. I'm still thinking that I might do a video or two on how my experience has been on owning the car, or what I feel are the benefits, what I feel are the downsides. Maybe go and take a test drive in a new one and see what the differences are, and maybe even take you guys along for the ride if I decide to get another one, if one day I happen to get a couple of bucks that I can spare. But there's so many things that I can put on here that are my life experiences that are, people can find gems in them. People can find problems to their solutions to their problems. People can resonate and or relate, and just get a different vantage point. And if not anything, maybe it's entertainment. Maybe people just like listening to the way I talk. They like seeing me show up without a shirt and like tattoos, and maybe have a good giggle about it. But at the end of the day, I'm not really concerned about any of that. I am truly concerned on building my mind and trying to instill all the things that I speak on these videos in my life, and try to pass it on to the people that are closest to me, and hopefully they can get something out of it, and I can see the shine in their eyes, and maybe they can have the feeling that I had. Because that feeling that I had today when I was in the gym, and it was 8:30 a.m. and I was already in the gym for a couple of hours, and in my mind all I could think about is like, man, I've already done the hardest part that people struggle with all day, and I've already came up with the idea of my next project, and I'm feeling great. Everything is acting as it should, as I feel it should. And if I can pass that feeling on to anybody else in this video, and or something I say, and or something I draw, or something I tattoo on someone can do that, I'm all for it. That's a positive building block. That's a arrow sent in the right direction. That is, you know, a tool set used exactly for what it's for. The information should be gathered and then projected forward. Someone said this, and I've heard it from numerous people, but probably someone that's hyper famous on the on the internet that has this to say, and it's like happiness comes from creating the best person you can create, and then and then giving them to the world. And I'm almost now starting to believe that in my inner core. Gather the information, use it to the best of your advantage, so those around you can see it implemented in real time and see the results, and then give it back to the world. And in itself, that's going to create such a positive loop within your life that it's going to be hard to knock you off that rocker. Only time will tell. Only time will tell if all my prophecies, theories, and life lessons are correct. I'm sure that I'm going to stumble on many more stones before the before the journey's out. But I'm going to start killing my own prey. I'm going to start really implementing all of this stuff that I'm learning. I'm really going to start structuring my days in a way where they're front loaded with information, knowledge to be dissected in my mind throughout the dead time of me going on walks, going on drives, and maybe doing my morning preps, and then kind of letting that all pour out throughout the day, and hope that the things that I'm learning stack over time and help me react to things in a better way, a more productive way, and something that I'd be proud of. I appreciate everybody checking in on here. If you like what I'm spitting, if a lot of the topics that I am talking about on here resonate with you at all, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your notification bells. So when I do drop my live videos, you guys will be the first ones to see. I do appreciate everybody that comments. I am trying to build a tribe of like-minded people on here where we're all trying to just build. It would be really cool for it to be a lot of artists so we can kind of bounce our ideas back and forth. But I'm also in the pursuit of meeting new minds that maybe are evolved and developed in different industries and in different time frames and do different things better, that are also creative and that are also constructive. Architects. I spoke and tattooed with a clinical psychologist the other day, and I almost joked with her that I was getting a free session out of her because I couldn't stop asking her questions. And then after that, I got to do a tattoo of a wolf, the hunter. Again, reiterating to kill your own prey. Once again, guys, if you're really liking my content, if you really want to go along for the ride and see how I grow on this YouTube journey, please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your bell notifications. It's Manny Cabrera. I appreciate you guys very much. It's January 10th, Saturday, reporting live. I appreciate you very much, and enjoy the rest of the evening.